Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome to episode 171 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you?
No, I don't think so. I think
Wow.
something changed this weekend, I think. For
I
me.
hope you're talking about the football.
I am talking about the football, yeah, of course.
We're getting a divorce, everybody.
No, something definitely changed for me on the weekend. I think it was that 10 game in sort of point. There was lots of realizations, I think, on Saturday for me, because 10 games in, we've got 10 points. So if you take that as a pattern for the whole season, 46 games in a season, you can end up on 46 points. And I think 46 points is enough to get relegated. If you look at the last 10 championship seasons, in about half of them, 46 points would have got you relegated. I think if you micro-analyse maybe the last 4 games, so in the last 4 games, we've picked up 3 points out of a potential 12. So that's a quarter of the points available that we've picked up in the last 4 games. If that were to continue, that was the trend that carried on throughout the rest of the season, we'd only pick up another 27 points, which with the 10 we've already got puts us on 37, which is 100% relegation.
Scary.
So the best case scenario out of them 2 little analysations is...
Not sure that's a word.
Nor me. At the very best scenario there is still quite a difficult relegation battle. That's the best case scenario based on what we have seen in the first 10 games. So I think it became obvious to me on Saturday that whatever, the one thing that needs to happen for us to be okay.
Stop winning games.
No, I think
We need points.
I think simpler than that is what needs to happen is we need to get better.
Yeah.
Regardless of everything else, we just need to get better. And I think as a fan. Sorry, should have put a trigger warning at the start, shouldn't I?
I only asked you how you were, how your week's been.
Ryan is about to descend into a very sort of a downbeat monologue. I should maybe have put a trigger warning at the start. No, but I think as a fan, even the most realistic fans of any club, but more specifically Wrexham, the realistic ones are going, look, mid-table at best, I would take just above the relegation places just to survive and then build on that and build on that and build on that. I think even that, the most realist people that we have in the fan base would have had an element of, but what if? We've talked about this before, that what if, we are riding a wave at the moment, and what if all these new players that come in and they feed off that from the staff and the environment at the club, and we just keep rolling, and what if we could just keep winning and we could push and we could be in and around the playoffs? How exciting would that be, whether we did it or not? How exciting would it be to be on the cusp of going, but maybe we could do back to back to back to back, all of that stuff, So I think that's always in you. I think what Saturday marked for me was the death of what if. That's how it felt, and I felt so disappointed after Saturday. But it literally was the day that what if died for me for this season, and that's how it felt. That you're going, okay, yeah, but if we turn around, okay, but if we turn it around now, okay, but if we win the next two, and it was just like I say, it was the death of what if for me on Saturday.
I feel now, for me at the beginning of the season anyway, and some people probably think, oh, you're not a fan if you think this, but I am a realist in regards to this.
Yeah.
I didn't want us to get promoted to Premier League.
No, I know you said
straight
that.
away.
You'd said that
because before. I mean, I said it last week because people do already think we're a joke, and we're kind of not playing up to it, but we're kind of proving them right at the moment. We're not a joke. We're not a joke. That's wrong to say, but we're kind of. People are kind of going, yeah, you
told you so.
Yeah. It's kind of that I told you so moment. So going up to the Premier League would be even more of a I told you so moment from other clubs and fans and stuff like that. So for me, I think now, 10 games in, and after their performance on Saturday, I don't think they had a plan on Saturday. Obviously, we're going to be talking about the Stoke game a little bit into the podcast. But for me, it felt like there was no solid plan of how we were going to play that game. It was like they didn't do their analysis of the Stoke team. They didn't do. I'm not saying they didn't, but that's how it felt as a fan watching it in person at the Bet365 Stadium on Saturday. I felt like there was. You
don't have to plug the betting company. You can just say at their ground. They have got no input in this show. You do not need to credit
and it's a gambling site, which I'm against. So anyway, I just feel like now it is going to be an uphill battle, or a battle for us to at least stay above the relegation zone.
It was
That's it for me.
Yeah.
Now I'm not even after last week. I said mid-table. I'm kind of like
changed already.
It's changed. For me, it's like let's battle and let's stay in the Championship, and then like you said, build on it, and then even if it's for a couple of seasons, build on the team that we've got and even bring in other people. But then again, it's like we're bringing in more people. I'm getting really irate now. My voice is getting louder and louder. For me, it's the battle of the of staying in the Championship this season now.
Yeah,
and it might change next week after we've played Oxford and Middlesbrough. It might be a different story, but my feeling is it won't be.
No, I think reality slapped me in the face. I think after
you hid it well.
I don't think. I think it was very much okay, and after a day or two of that, you sort of go, okay, I know where we are now. But I think for them first 10 games, even though it wasn't maybe going great all the time, we were very much in a lot of the games, and you sort of feel like we just need to turn a little bit of a corner and we'll be fine, and we will win games, and we will push on.
I think we did turn a corner yesterday, but it wasn't in the
right.
It was the wrong way.
Yeah, and
Google Maps is needed.
I do feel a little bit concerned about what's ahead, because I think we've got the right players. I think we need to tweak the system. Whether Parky...
That's on Parky though, isn't it?
And whether he's willing to do that, I genuinely don't know.
Well, he did a little tweak yesterday at the Stoke game,
which we will talk about, and I do sort of feel like that is what we need to going forward. But we can't put too much on Parky here, because I feel like the players need to take a lot of ownership for Saturday.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, we'll talk about Stoke in just a second. Also coming up on this week, we're going to talk about obviously 2 games that we've got.
If you haven't already tuned out.
We've got Oxford coming up on
Wednesday.
Night. And then obviously Frank Lampard brings his top of the table Coventry team to town. Perfect timing, just what we need. No. Sorry. No, that's the week after.
That's the week
That's
after.
the nightmare for next week. We are visiting second in the table, Middlesbrough. Yes. So I'm getting so confused because I got a week off work. So Oxford Wednesday, Middlesbrough Saturday.
Yes.
You'll see why I'm getting confused a little bit later when we talk about certain things, because we're going to reference Coventry later on. So I have written about Coventry this week, which is perhaps where my confusion is coming from.
It's a good job I'm here, isn't it?
It is a good job that you're here. So look, unchanged starting 11 for the Stoke game.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm going to be honest, I didn't voice it, so it's very easy for somebody who didn't say something at the time to claim that they were thinking it. But I did wonder prior to the game whether another unchanged lineup was the right decision. Because I feel like although there were elements of the last three games that were good, I felt like there was a lot that wasn't quite right.
Yeah.
Like, not that it wasn't good, that there was a lot that wasn't quite right. So I was a little bit, I wonder if an unchanged lineup is the right thing. Or I wonder if it is even the lineup, whether it's just the system, like I said, and you know, maybe it's taking the lads who are there a little bit of time to adjust to the system. A lot of new players coming in, you know, and all that sort of
Again,
stuff.
Parky's probably not a manager that they've had to work alongside. So, like you said, that his system might be alien to them, and it might take them a while to get. But time is definitely of the essence now. You know, like you said, being 10 games in, we're nearing the end of October.
Yeah.
So we've got like 2 months left of this year. So it's like, I'm scared.
I'm a bit worried after Saturday. I definitely am, because I didn't see. We've gone through these weird periods, haven't we, where we've gone, I didn't feel like that worked. And then we've gone into games going, look, we weren't in that for long periods, but we've managed to get something out of it. And then we've gone into to like Norwich, for example, where we've gone, where did that come from?
Yeah.
You know, and we've been, you know, we've really put a team to the sword.
Millwall.
But then Norwich being a great result, which it was at the time, you now look at the table and Norwich are lower down than we are. So how great of a result is that now you reflect 10 games in? Because I'm sure you've got Norwich fans and Norwich podcasts out there sitting here more in despair than we are. So all of a sudden, these great results that you've pulled off, yes, Norwich have been in the Premier League, and yes, they've been up the top end, towards the top end of the Championship. But based on their form this season, they're worse than we are.
I get that, but I feel like, you know, we may be looking back at the end of the season going, do you know what, those 3 points that we got at Norwich?
Yeah, perhaps
those may have been the being relegated and not being relegated sort of thing. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like, what
appeared on the surface as a great result, it almost feels like even that's getting taken away from us, because I think Norwich are, I don't know what they are, 20th, and so then you're sitting there going, oh, wasn't as great a result as it appeared, did it? You know, you've got, you know, we've played the team who were bottom at home and we couldn't beat them, you know, so now the league's starting to settle into okay, 10 games in, this is where you expect a lot of the teams to be there or thereabouts. You know, you will get the odd team who will completely drop off and end up somewhere else, and you'll get the teams who go on a bit of a run and end up, you know, a lot higher in the division than they currently are. Sheffield United's one of them. I dare say Sheffield United will, in my opinion, almost certainly end end up in the top half of the table with Chris Wilder back, but currently they're second to bottom. I don't think that is a place that they're going to end up. So I think they're going to be a club that are going to be one of those that shift massively from 10 games in to maybe 25 games in, you know. But a lot of the teams potentially are going to be in and around where they currently are 10 games in.
Yeah. I mean, if we stay where we are,
fine.
But if we keep doing what we're doing and we kind of, I'm just, I don't know. Anyway, back to the Stoke game.
Yeah, we will go back to Stoke.
We are digressing quite a bit.
But do you know what worries me the most is we did talk about this last season. And although we were winning games and we had a 1-0 here and a 1-0 there, there were lots of periods where I wasn't excited by the football that we were playing, even when we were winning. And that might feel or sound like how entitled are you and all that sort of stuff. But you give up your money and your time. You want to go. You don't just want to go and see your club grind out a 1-0 week in, week out. You want to be excited.
You want those last-minute goals and exciting goals.
It doesn't matter. You just want to see exciting football.
Yeah.
And there was long periods last season where I don't feel that we saw that. Although I think winning the games papers over the cracks a little bit because you go, oh, we're winning though. And the feeling of winning gives you that sort of rush. In the same way as maybe not winning but playing really exciting football does. And then this season, you've seen little bursts of stuff here and there. But again, it's not something that we're massively excited about. So, you know, I think people could go, oh, yeah, but you're just saying that because we've only got 10 points from 10 games. But this is a feeling that's gone on for longer than just this season. This is a feeling that's gone on for maybe 50 games now.
I'm going to say 50 years.
No,
then.
50 games now where you've gone,
Yeah.
you know, the National League was exciting and we were, you know, it felt exciting. League Two felt exciting. Oh, there was some dodgy performances in there. But I don't know, it felt like that last season. The excitement came from the sort of promotion race and we've nicked a win here and there. But I'm not sure I was ever truly excited by the football we were playing. But like I say, you sort of ignore all of that because you're winning games and you go, oh, come on. You know, what do you want from life? Come on, just take the wins.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm skirting around saying is I think the style of play comes from one place, doesn't it? And that's management ultimately.
Yeah.
And if you're not, we're very regimented. And what Saturday proved is we're chasing the game, but it was very slow, calm, methodical build up. When sometimes you just want to go, just go for it. Just go on.
Take the chances and
just push
try
and have some urgency and move the ball and
that lacked yesterday actually
massively and
mainly in the second half though I would say.
So I worry about how I'm gonna in another 10 games and another 10 games how I'm gonna feel about sitting there watching this. That's what I'm worried about because at the moment I'm going right. You just hunker down and we need to get points from somewhere, and but yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, look, let's talk about some good in the game. I did feel like in that first half, for a long period, I felt like we were the better team.
Yeah,
I don't think that we were. I'm not saying that we had more of the ball or we were controlling the game or we were creating loads of chances, but it just felt like we had the most attacking intent and it felt more, it just felt better when we were going forward as opposed to when they were going forward. Yeah. And we felt like the better team. And the best chance of the half, if not the game, fell to obviously Ryan Longman. Kabore, great work down the right, had a shot, saved by the keeper, came across to Longman, open goal, and he put it wide. Well, there was a few people who thought he'd scored.
I did.
Yeah, the net sort of rippled a little bit. And then we've gone, oh, God, how has he missed that? And it sort of felt like when we were there in the stadium that he could have taken a touch even, perhaps, because the keeper was on the floor and maybe hit it. But I don't think, I don't think he was wrong to take it first time. There was a defender coming in on the cover and, hitting it first time, I don't think was a ridiculous decision. And we were like, oh, how's he missed that? But then
we were obviously, when that happened, we're obviously in the away end, which was on the opposite side to where this happened,
and in the corner,
corner. So it's kind of your view's kind of a bit obscured, and so we obviously didn't see it perfectly like you obviously would have seen it on the TV and what have you. So we obviously watched it back. And it was like, it was a close your eyes sort of hand in your head moment. It was like...
Hand in your head? Do you mean head in your hands?
Yeah.
Like, again, it is literally, I wanted to squeeze my hand into my head.
Your head in your hand moment.
To pop my brain.
And you thought,
It's so much worse than what I thought it was.
Yeah,
when
there's
a
lot of people
replay.
when we did our live yesterday. A lot of people, because you were like, "Oh yeah, I'd be interested to see that highlight back." Watch that back, and loads of people were like, "Ryan, you do not want to watch that back."
And you're right. I don't want to watch it back ever again because it was one of them where you go, "Oh no, how have you missed that?" And
but you could argue though, and I know that this is probably a lame excuse, but you have to remember his job is not to score goals.
But he is very much an attacking player.
And the fact that he was so close to the goal mouth as well. And it was just, I'm not sure you can make any excuses for it. And I'm sure Longman is probably kicking himself. He's probably watched that back and thought, how did I miss that? I don't know, but look, that's come and gone, and it is what it is. And I think slagging off players, not that we are, but I think a lot of people may be slagging off individual players doesn't help matters. I don't. It
doesn't, but you can voice your opinion.
You can voice your opinion, exactly, but I think some people do take it too far, and it is disappointing that Longman didn't get that, because that basically could have been. That could have been a point for us.
Potentially. We don't know what would have happened.
We just
after
don't
that,
know. You don't. Yeah, exactly. You don't know, and it's just
Stoke obviously went down the other end. Sorba Thomas crossed it in.
I know he's Welsh, but I can't stand this guy. After what he did, I cannot stand him.
A cross came in from him. It's pretty poor. It goes over Dobbo's head. I think Windass has a bit of a swing at it. Or it certainly goes through Windass. It goes through Kiefer Moore. And then Arthur's just sort of like... this... I think there's two players that possibly could have got rid of that before it got as far as Arthur.
Yeah.
And it potentially an own goal. It might have come off Kiefer Moore's foot. It was hard to tell off the replay, but it possibly took a slightly different direction. But we've had more than enough opportunity to clear that away. It's ended up in the back of the net. He's celebrated like he scored an overhead kick from the edge of the box. Look, I'm going to say one thing about Sorba Thomas, right? And that's it. And then we're going to move on, because I don't want to get into this whole debate about this, because I think for me, he's picked up the ball on a few occasions and he's got booed.
I don't agree with that.
Right, and he genuinely, I looked at him when it was happening. I didn't boo him. But there was large sections. A few people said a small section of the crowd were booing him. It wasn't a small section. It was a lot of people were booing him. And he got booed, and he genuinely looked surprised that he was getting booed. I was a little bit surprised that he was getting booed. Obviously,
They did it with Jordan James, though.
yeah, but Jordan James was a little bit different because he'd agreed a deal to move to us. And no, the clubs had agreed a deal to move,
Right,
and
okay.
then
Didn't know that.
he turned that down.
Okay.
And then decided to go to Leicester. So it felt a little bit different when it happened with Sorba Thomas. I was a little bit shocked, but look, boo who you like. They play for another team. It doesn't bother me. But he genuinely looked a bit confused when it first happened, going, hang on, you're a Welsh club, I'm Welsh, I play for Wales, why are you booing me? That sort of confusion that he felt, and that was on his face.
Yeah.
But, rightly or wrongly, that was happening, is what it is. And it's one of them scenarios where you go, he then scored, and...
I'm not saying I don't like. This is why I didn't like him, because of how he celebrated his goal.
But I think one thing you've got to think of here is if you're getting booed by a section of crowd and you then go and score, then why would you not want to rub their face in it?
It's just that
why do you then have the right to be angry that you've booed him, he celebrated, and now you think, oh, well, who does he think he is?
I didn't boo him, though. So
but then when you could turn around and go, well, who do you think you are for booing him? So why is one person in the right and one person not? That's my question here.
I just think it's wrong when, no matter what's happening, I didn't boo, because I don't boo players.
Irrelevant, but go on.
Right.
No, for the point you're about to make, whether you
It's
booed
just,
or not.
I just don't think players should celebrate the way that they should. The way that they do, sorry. Sometimes.
Yeah, but perhaps they're celebrating in reaction to something that has happened to them earlier in the game.
Way he's, like you said, the way he celebrated, it was like he just scored a goal at the final of the World Cup or something.
Exactly, and you sort of go, calm down a bit here, mate.
I think that's the issue for me. Not necessarily that he celebrated in front of us.
So do you think the celebration should match the level of goal that you scored?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a ridiculous comment, isn't it? That is ridiculous.
I just think the way that I don't like it when players cup their ears and and he did that little walk, and why do you keep pointing at that?
Because I think your mic's too close and you keep shouting into it.
It's because I can't hear.
It's because it's spiking like crazy when you're talking.
I apologise.
No, it might be coming across fine, and it really might be, but yeah, I just thought I was trying to subtly show you how.
Yeah, no, but I didn't know what you were doing, so I apologise if I'm louder than usual.
You might not be. You genuinely might not be.
No, I know.
I operate a better safe than sorry when it comes to this episode. So
my final point on Sorba Thomas, he's Welsh, so I will support him when he plays for Wales, obviously, because why wouldn't you? And it's not just him. It's whenever players celebrate the way that they do in front of away fans or whatever, when they have got three other sides of their home fans, I just think over the top celebrations when the goal wasn't that impressive.
Let me cut you off, right? Let me ask you a question. If a Wrexham player we're playing against somebody, yeah, and is getting absolute dog's abuse from a set of fans, right? And then he scores, regardless the quality of goal, he scores, and then do you think he is within his rights to go, there you go, what do you think about that then?
Not really, no.
You don't?
No.
You're too soft. Because for me, that is, you can't.
I don't like people goading people. That's one.
But that's football, and that is what fans are doing. The fans, look, and I'm not. I don't. This might sound like I'm standing up for somebody. What I'm standing up for is the game that I've grown up with, and the game that I've grown up with is you give a player abuse. And that player goes and scores. For me, he is well within his rights to stand in front of the people who have been giving him abuse and go, well, what have you got to say now?
Yeah,
because and that for me is what I That's football to me. And if you are going to stand there and you're going to put yourself on the line and abuse someone, don't be surprised if the tables are turned on you, and you can't then stand there and go, well, this is disgraceful. Why are you doing this? Well, one would argue that the whole situation was created by the Wrexham fans booing him in the first place. Do you honestly believe he would have celebrated like that if he hadn't been booed?
It would have been interesting.
Of course he wouldn't. He would have celebrated in front of his fans. He was pointing to his ear, pointing to the Wrexham fans because he'd been booed.
Yeah.
Wrexham fans can't then turn around and be annoyed by him doing that, because he's only doing that because of what the Wrexham fans have done. People are just, for me, sometimes are ridiculous, right? If you want to boo him, boo him. I've got no issue with that, right? This is my final point on this. And a genuinely final point, because I don't want people to misunderstand what I'm saying here.
I totally get what you're saying.
What I am saying is, if you want to boo somebody, boo them. I couldn't care less, right? If you want to boo Sorba Thomas, boo Sorba Thomas, right?
Or any
that is
other
fine.
player. Yeah.
But my point is, Sorba Thomas is then well within his rights to come and celebrate in front of you in sort of like, in relation to you booing him. That's what he's in his rights to do that. What you're then not in your rights to do is then get offended that he's come and celebrated in front of you. You've got to take this in the whole banter section of life. You want to boo him? Boo him. But then if he's going to respond and celebrate in front of you, you've just got to go, fair enough. All right then, mate.
I guess it's a...
Don't take to Twitter and start going, he's a disgrace. I never want to... Sorry, no.
people done that, have they?
Calm down, right? It's a two-way thing here. You do that, everyone laughs it off and gets on with it. You can't. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you can't have the hump with a player who celebrates in front of a group of fans who've been berating him for 30 minutes. You just can't, because that is ridiculous. Regardless of where he's from, it's just ridiculous. Because to me, it annoyed me massively that he celebrated in front of us. But I will defend his right to do that to the hills and back, because he's got the abuse in the first place. But I will equally defend the Wrexham fans' right to boo him if they want to. My point is, you can't suddenly be offended when you've started it.
It's a kind of, if you're going to give it, expect it
You've
back.
got to take it back.
Yeah.
And that is the whole point of it. If you want to give it. But you've got to expect it back, and you've got to accept it coming back. End of. That is it. You can't then be offended by it, because it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not the whole booing, and it's the way that he celebrated, and I don't agree with stuff like that. But I get what you're saying. He was within his right to do so, but coming from somebody who didn't boo him, and will continue to support him when he plays for our country.
Yeah, you will. So blame the people who did boo him then. Don't blame him. Blame the people who booed him.
I didn't really see who was booing him. I could hear it, but I couldn't.
It's just, it's one of them scenarios. I am not berating the booing. I'm not berating the celebration. But what I am berating is the people who feel aggrieved and take to Twitter
when they've been booing.
Well, not even if they've been booing. They saw the scenario.
Yeah.
They give him abuse. He gives abuse back, but he's the bad guy. Sorry, what?
Yeah.
How is that the case? That's not to me. Look, people will have so many different opinions to me, and that's fine.
That's what this world is about.
It is, but that to me, in a nutshell, is what it is. And
it is what it is.
Well, yeah.
Anyway.
Look, did you feel aggrieved at being 1-0 down at half time?
I did at half time, yeah. Because of how I don't think our performance was terrible. I thought we kind of had, I thought Yeah, I did feel aggrieved. That's not what you asked me. What did you ask me?
It is what I asked
Yes,
you.
you was. Yeah, I felt a bit like, oh, God, we deserve so much more. And then I thought, you know what? Second half is going to be completely different. We're going to be on it, and we're going to get this point, if not 3 points from this. But it just went to absolute dog poo in the second half.
It was a shambles.
I don't know what the discussion was in the dressing room at half time, but it just didn't. Whatever it was, did either clicked, and it didn't click at all.
No, it didn't click. It was an absolute shambles.
Awful.
It was all over the place. Stoke hit the bar. Everything looked slow and laboured.
Them coming forward as well. My God, it was excruciating to watch. Wrexham players, when they were coming forward,
yeah,
it just seemed like there was no urgency about it.
No, zero. No, I would completely agree.
It was like they were having a stroll in the park on a Sunday afternoon.
Zero urgency, and I think we got an insight into distribution from a keeper. I think it was Max crossed it in. Stoke keeper collected it, distributed it so quickly all the way up to the halfway line with a throw, and their striker was one-on-one with our defender. And then when Arthur was getting it, he was just holding it, and it was slow, and everyone's getting frustrated because
Arthur's looking around, going, "Who am I giving this to?"
But this is a conversation for another time, because I think Arthur's distribution is problematic.
Yeah.
But for lots of different reasons. Perhaps Arthur feels like nobody is making any sort of movement that he can distribute it quickly. But the crowd are getting quite frustrated, because in the crowd we can see players that are free that he could distribute it too quickly.
Cache, when he came on, he was free quite a lot of the time yesterday.
Maybe there's not a lot of communication there. Maybe Arthur just can't see it. I don't know. I really don't.
He's like one of those horses, the
Blinkered,
horses that have
maybe.
And it's sort of like he can just see what's going on in front of him. And I think as a goalkeeper, that's quite an integral thing, to be able to have good vision all the way around you.
Look, it finished 1-0. Without getting into the ins and outs of the second half, nothing massively happened. I think we had one shot on target in the second half, and it wasn't a shot. I mean, the cross came in, Sam Smith header, and it just bounced in front of the keeper, and he just caught it. And I think that was given as a shot on target, which it really wasn't. I think if the
target was the goalkeeper, then it was on target.
Well, I think if the keeper would have not grabbed it, I'm not even sure it had the power to cross the line. So I'm not sure whether that could be classed as a shot on target. But there we go. Maybe we'd be sitting here having a completely different conversation and being a little bit more optimistic if Ryan Longman's shot would have gone in. And maybe that might have changed the whole complexion on the game. And if it would have ended up being a 1-1 draw, then, it is what it is. Although Stoke are now third after that win. So perhaps we shouldn't be too downbeat, because what we have done, we've lost 1-0 away from home to a team that are third in the league.
Yeah.
So when you say it like that, perhaps...
Yeah, but it still feels like a big loss.
I can't help it feeling the way it does.
Yeah.
Because it just feels...
I think it would have been different if it was the second half was as the first half. It was a bit... Yeah, we didn't score any goals in the first half, but, we kind of looked like we had some sort of plan and things in place. But
I agree. If we'd have pushed on with the way we played in the first half and
I
still lost 1-0.
I don't think fans would have been, or we would have been so like, oh God, it was so disappointing.
Completely agree. I completely agree with that. If we'd have played in the second half the way we did in the first half and lost the game 1-0, I'm not sure it would have the same impact as Saturday did. Do
you know when you're growing up and your mum and dad always say to you, even if you don't win, as long as you tried your best. it kind of feels like that situation. I know, obviously, we want to win games. I know that. But if you can see your team putting 110% in every single game and we still don't win, at least you can say the lads put their, they didn't leave anything out on the pitch.
They give their all, but perhaps they're not good enough. Scenario, because forget the players and who they are for a minute, but if every week you put in 110%, right, but you're losing, you just go, do you know what? They're giving everything, but they're just not quite at the right level.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we're sort of completely opposite to that. We know they are at that level. We know some of these players are better than a lot of the players in this league.
Yeah.
But just collectively, it's just not working for whatever reason at the moment. I don't know what that is. But look, we got to see the box midfield.
Yeah, you were so excited. He was Ryan leaned over and he was like, box midfield. And I was like, I was trying to sound really clever and I went, is it a false box or is it a... And he went, no, it's a box. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so we had Windass and Broadhead together for the first time, I think. We got to see that.
Exciting to see.
Yeah, and I think that's what you've got to go with now, because it's not working. It's not working the other way. We're playing so shut up shop. We're like the three central defenders. We've got two wing backs who at times are getting pushed backwards. We've got two defensive midfielders with another one just in front. And it's just like, how defensive do you want to be?
Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
Do you think, and this was a question that I asked, I think when we were back in the National League, do you think that teams now are like, we know how what your formation's gonna be. We know how you're gonna play week in, week out. So I think teams play on that, and I think now Parky needs to kind of think literally outside of the box or in a box. And do you know what I'm saying? Do you think that's what's happening?
I don't think we're difficult to analyse. Let's put it like that.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think the teams are going, do you know what?
We know what we're getting.
We know what we're getting, and we know what to do.
Look, we have developed, and we have.
Of course, we have.
We have changed over the years. Parky's tactics have, and we do play very much transitional formations. But yes, I think you're very right. I do think we're very easy to analyse. And I think a lot of managers lick their lips sometimes when they come up against Parky, because I think there is a regimented element to his tactics and his style of play. So yeah, I think now is the time, and perhaps it takes someone like Nathan Broadhead to be bought and brought in for Parky to go, I can't not play him, but I also can't not play Josh. So what do I do?
What's my alternative?
And I think we've got to stick our neck out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we've had 10 games.
It's not working so far, is it, what we're doing?
Well, we've had 10 games and we picked up 10 points. We're not in the relegation zone. No. There are teams worse off than us, but we're very much in that fight if we carry on in this vein. So for me, the way that we finished the game, maybe not the way we finished the game, but, I think stick with you three at the back, that's fine for now. But, having Broadhead for me is the one shining light. He is so good on the ball. He looks exciting to watch.
Look what he did for Wales when he came on.
Yeah, it's not always going to work for him because, But his style of play will work against most people, and he will always find space, in my opinion. And I think you need Windass in that team.
Oh, yeah.
But I think you need Broadhead in that team as well.
And the only way you're going to do that
is by playing the way that we were later on in that game.
Yeah. Do you think maybe Parky should have thought about that earlier on in the game rather than leaving it until the late in the second half?
I don't know. It's an impossible question, really, because how do you know? You could have gone a little bit more attacking earlier in the game, opened up space for them, and they might have got a second, and then the game's well and truly dead. It's all about timing, isn't it, and getting that right. And Parky probably would have felt like he did get it right at the right time, but it just didn't quite come off. I don't know. It's easy for us to sit here and go, we should have done that earlier.
But you just don't know.
I don't mind. Look, I've got no issue with throwing Parky or anyone else under the bus when I need to, but I think sometimes you've got to go. It's quite impossible to answer that one. I think to really know. But look, we've got 4 huge games coming up. I
was going to say something then, but you carried on talking, and I cannot remember what I was going to say.
In the space of 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Look, we've got 4 huge games in 10 days coming up. This could end up defining the next sort of 10 games of our season here.
Oh my God.
Look, we just played the team that are now sitting in 3rd. We're playing the team that are currently in 2nd on Saturday. And then the following Friday, we're playing the team that are currently sitting in 1st. So that's 1st, 2nd and 3rd in the space of a 13-day window. Just throw in the mix. We've got Oxford, who are sitting 1 point behind us and could very much be in a bit of a relegation battle with us as the season goes on. Throw that into the mix. And just for good measure, League Cup 4th round against a bitter rival that you haven't played for years, sandwiched in the middle of all that. So it's a big 10 days, I would say.
It is a big 10 days. And I feel like a Wednesday game and a Saturday game, there's not much time for recuperation in between that, I don't think.
That's where you use your squad.
Yes, that's what my question was going to be.
Okay.
Do you think, obviously, the team that play on Wednesday, there are certain players that you have to play on both games, I feel.
Yeah, of course.
Like Kabore, I feel like he needs to be in that squad week in, week out. He is absolutely superb, and he always he's one of those players that always gets something from the ball. Always. Always. He gets himself out of sticky situations.
Well, the Longman chance on Saturday came from his shot. Came from him finding space and him having a shot.
Exactly.
And the keeper saved it, and it ended up at Ryan's feet, and he couldn't do anything with it. But that came from him.
Yeah.
So even when we're not scoring, our best chances are coming from him.
Yeah. So my question is, and obviously I'd like you all to comment on what your thoughts are. Do you think that the team that we play on Wednesday, obviously we played on Saturday against Stoke, and we've got Wednesday's game. Do you think we play the same team we played against Stoke on Wednesday, and then Wednesday we play the same team that we play? On Wednesday. No, on Saturday when we play Middlesbrough, we play the same team again that we played on Wednesday.
No, not for me.
No, I think it's too much. And I think for players like Kiefer Moore, who is, he is a good player, but I feel like if he played against Stoke, against Oxford, and against Middlesbrough, I think that is just too much.
I want to see Ryan Hardy play.
Yeah, he hasn't played very much, has he? You asked, didn't you, whether he was on the bench? Well, I couldn't remember what you said. Was he on the bench?
I didn't check. But I want to see him, and I want to... it feels like Parky's made a decision on him, and all the fans are going, well, why? Because we haven't seen what he's seen.
Has something happened?
I don't know, but he's obviously seen something... be it in a cup game or in training or whatever it might be, that he just doesn't fancy him for whatever reason, okay?
But then he needs to be given the chance to prove himself. Parky said this to himself.
Yeah, but the weird thing for us is Parky's seen enough to not feel like he trusts him to play, okay? But we haven't seen that. So we're sitting there going, well,
why aren't you
playing him?
Yeah.
He's got a very valid reason, perhaps, why he's not playing him, but we don't have... That's not a shared thing between us and him, it just feels like, well, just give it a go. And you sort of feel like Wednesday's perfect for him. Give Kiefer a bit of rest, stick him on the bench, maybe bring him on for the last 20 minutes, whatever. And it just feels like the right time to maybe him to have a go. But
who knows? So let us know what you think. Do you think that the players that play on Wednesday should also be should be playing on Saturday against Middlesbrough? I get that some players we cannot go without. We have to play them in both games. Excuse me, but definitely when we play Reading, I think there'll be a bit of a break for some of them because
we're not playing Reading.
Oh, we played Reading, Cardiff. I mean, when we play Cardiff in the next round of the Carabao Cup, I was going to call it the Kabore Cup then. I don't know why. The Carabao Cup. I think he'll play a different team, but I don't think it'll be massively changed. But yeah, let us know what you think because it'd be interesting to see what you think of the situation.
Look, we stay 18th. We are 3 points off the relegation zone, 4 points off the team that are bottom, and we are 7 points adrift from the playoffs at the moment. Look, quick fancy EFL update. Quick shout out for Eric. Eric was really excited because he was first for a very short period, and he said, "Oh, I can't wait to get a shout out that I'm first." But by the time there was a late game on the Saturday, by the time the recording came round, we recorded early, so we didn't actually talk about Fancy FL last week. But by the time that the weekend fixtures had finished, he wasn't. And unfortunately, the reason I'm shouting him out is he's not in the top 3 anymore. So first is Joshua.
I did tell you to try and hold on, Eric, didn't I?
Second, A. Wilcox, and Ron Wilk is in third at the moment. Look, 2 games this week. We have Oxford United, the 11th league game of the season. Wednesday, the 27th of October, 7:45.
22nd.
What's the date?
No, it is the 22nd, but you said the 27th.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh, it's the 22nd of October.
Or maybe you did say the 22nd and it just sounded like the 27th. We'll have to watch it back, but it's the 22nd.
Look, we're at home at the racecourse. A small amount of tickets were still available, so it's not sold out at the moment. They're founded in 1893. They finished 17th in the Championship last season on 53 points, 4 points above the relegation zone. This is their second season in the Championship after being promoted from League One in 2024. Last game with them was a 2-1 defeat in the FA Cup in 2013. Last league games were in the 2005-2006 season in League Two. We drew 1-1 at home and beat them 3-0 away. Excuse me. The nickname is the U's. They play in yellow.
Did you forget where you were for a minute then?
No, I sort of burped a little bit. They beat Derby 1-0. On Saturday, which is nice, leading into our game, obviously. They're 19th on 9 points, so 1 point and 1 place behind us. They've won 2, drawn 3, and lost 5 this season. Siân.
Do you know what? I'm going to go into Wednesday's game with a bit of positivity, and I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1.
I'll go 3-1.
You think?
What? No. No, absolutely not. It just feels at the moment that I'm just plucking out dream scenarios out the air. And is that what I actually think? Do you know what? If I was being a serious... If this was a football podcast and not a Wrexham podcast...
You'd go 1-0 to Oxford or something.
I'd probably go 2-0 to Oxford, if I'm perfectly honest. But just taking a step back and being realistic, I'd probably fancy Oxford.
We might win our prediction things a bit more often if we went for the other team. But we're a Wrexham podcast. We're behind our boys.
I'm going 3-1 Wrexham. I'm just doing it. There we go.
Do it.
Do it.
So our game on Saturday, the 25th of October, is our 12th league game of the season, and it is against Middlesbrough. It's away at the Riverside Stadium, and that is 165 miles away. Roughly 3 hours away, depending on traffic. The capacity is 34,742. They were founded in 1876. They finished 10th in the Championship last season on 64 points. They're 4 points off the playoffs at the moment.
No,
No.
no. Ignore that. I don't. No, that was 4 points off the playoffs last season. Yeah.
So yeah, there were 4 points off the playoffs last season. They have spent 16 of the last 17 seasons in the Championship. So they are well and truly bedded into the Championship.
They've got their feet under the table.
They have got their feet under the table.
Yeah.
And the other one was in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Prior to that, they spent 11 straight seasons in the Prem. We have never played them in the league ever. Ever.
No.
Last game was in 1999. I was 9. How old were we in 99?
I was 18.
I was 17.
When this game was played, I was 17.
So I was 60.
Yeah.
In the FA Cup, which we won 2-1.
I went to that.
Did you? Where was it? Home or away?
Home. We beat them 2-1. They had some big players playing as well. Paul Gascoigne played in that game.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. One of our great FA Cup.
Yeah. I was there. Yeah.
One of our great FA Cup wins. That was.
Their nickname is the Borough.
It's not the Borough.
The Borough. I can't.
Read.
Borough. But it doesn't. That's not how you spell borough. Borough is Brough.
So you think a team that is called Middlesbrough would be nicknamed the Borough?
The Borough. But whatever. They play in red, so we obviously won't be playing in red. I wonder if we were playing in yellow again, or whether we'll be playing in our blue and white hoops. Who knows? They beat Ipswich 2-1 on Friday night. I'm trying to kind of pick up the positivity and happiness of this podcast because it hasn't been great so far. They're second in the league on 21 points. They have so far this season won 6, drawn 3 and lost 1.
So what's your prediction for the Borough?
The Borough. I'm going to go 1-1. It's boring, I know, but I just feel like I have to support the boys. But I also think that Middlesbrough being where they are in the league, how embedded they are in the Championship, I feel like you've got to give them something.
Shall I just go for something ridiculous?
No, don't.
Why?
Because...
What do you want me to do? Tell you what I really think? Because that isn't good podcasting.
No.
So
I apologise for Ryan this week. He's very much of a grumpy pants.
2-0 Wrexham.
He's not denying it. Okay.
I'm not. Absolutely not. Look, if you would like to support this absolute shambles, very similar to the shambles that we saw on Saturday, then you can do. You do that by visiting buymeacoffee.com/me the wife. Massive thank you to Linda this week. I'm going to have to lean in a little bit. We've had a nightmare with equipment this week.
We have, yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but we normally have a nice big iPad in front of us, which has got a couple of notes. Any comments we want to read out, they're nice and displayed. What we have at the moment is a phone because it's just, for whatever reason, I'm not going to go into it, but we've just had a mare.
We have.
We had an absolute mare with more than one piece of equipment this week, but yeah, it is what it is. Thank you very much to Linda this week. I might as well hold this because I've got the quiz coming. Linda said, I just watched the replay. I will start with a positive. Oh, thank you. We haven't had many. The Wrexham fans in attendance were very loud.
What do you think?
At times.
Yeah.
Yes. That being said, I'm befuddled. It just didn't seem like they had a plan. I know I said I'd let this go, but this is a day when I wish Fletcher was on the bench and he could have come on in the 80th minute and at least try to get us a draw. They really need to regroup for the next game, and now we move on to the next.
I agree with you. I think maybe if Fletch was on that bench, who knows what could have happened. Our Scottish Viking could have come in and stormed it and got a goal like, he has done in the past.
Look, if you do want to get in touch, you can do so. You can comment on this video if you're watching on YouTube, whatever it is. Click on Contact the Show at the bottom of the description if you're listening as a podcast. Or you've got all the social media stuff. Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. Or email me, the wife, and wrexhamafc@gmail.com. Quick shout out for Dragon Chat. It's a mental health. I might go on it this week, if I'm perfectly honest, because I don't know where I'm at the moment with my head with this team. It's driving me to drink, I think, at the moment. So it's a mental health peer support group. They run 2 weekly Zoom calls. One is on Monday at 8 p.m. And that is for women. The other one is at 7 p.m. on a Thursday, and that is for men. If you want to find out how to get on there, go to the Wrexham AFC website, go to the Communities tab, scroll to Health, and you'll find Dragon Chat in there. Alternatively, all the details of how to get on them calls are in the description of this and every YouTube episode we have ever done.
Before we go on to the quiz...
Yes?
If you would like... Obviously, we've just done the Buy Me a Coffee bit, but if you would like to support the show for free... then there are 2 ways that you can do that. You can go onto our YouTube page, and if you're not already subscribed, subscribe. And also, I'm sure Ryan will be putting the information in the description. Well, he will now.
Yeah, I do.
You do.
It's a staple every week at the moment. Yeah.
Yes. So, as you may or may not know, Ryan and I are finalists in the Football Content Awards, which the event is happening on the 20th of November in Leeds, in Elland Road. So, as we are finalists, we would love, and be so appreciative if you would give us a vote. You can vote as many times as you like, so you just go nuts.
Fill your boots,
go nuts. And also as well, we would just like to say, I can't remember the categories, but Millie is also nominated for 2 awards. So if you go and find out which awards she's nominated for, and just smash the nominations, vote for her. Just vote, because she deserves to win, because she's just such a lovely girl.
Do ours first.
But do ours first.
Like, secure yourself first before attending to children. That's what they say on a plane, isn't it? So in this instance...
She's not a child.
I'm not talking about that, you fool. When you're on a plane, it says always secure your own mask first before dealing with others.
Yes.
So in this instance, make sure you vote for us first, but then go and vote for Welcome to Wrexham and Millie as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Quiz time. Alternative names I've done this week.
Okay,
so this is Championship edition. Okay. Now, I will give you an example. Okay, so if I said to you, male affiliated, what football team do you think that is? So these are alternative words for the words in the team. Male affiliated. So I'll give...
male, M-A-L-A,
yeah.
Okay.
So that male affiliated would be Man United.
Oh,
okay.
my God. I would not
I've got another example for you.
I would not have known that affiliated was another word for United.
Fresh Fort is Newcastle.
Oh, my. This is going to be so hard.
They're obviously Premier League teams. This is Championship edition I'm doing.
Right.
They're just examples for you.
I hope they're going to be easier, because I would never have got those.
Okay. They are tricky.
I'm not very logical in my thinking in regards to things like this.
Okay.
So this might be tough.
So you just need to think of they're all 2 words. Okay.
Okay.
So not necessarily 2 words in the name, but they'll make sense as you go through.
You think?
But just think of alternative words for what I give you.
Okay.
Number 1 is Signet Ocean.
Oh my God.
Signet Ocean. Shall I try and help you with the first one a little bit?
Is a signet like a diamond or something?
It is not, no.
Is a signet a goose?
You're on the right lines, but...
Oh, Swansea! Swansea!
There you go. Okay, you got it now, yeah?
Swansea!
Signet Ocean Swansea. Yeah?
Because you can have signet rings, can't you? But is that spelled differently?
I don't know. Okay?
Yes,
Are you
Swansea.
happy? Are we up and running?
Well, I've got the first one. Whether I get any more is a different story.
Number 2. Oh, no, sorry.
Oh, Swansea.
Yeah.
Signet Ocean.
Number 2, Pardon Stream. Obviously, some of these words have multiple meanings. So, like a pardon could mean a couple of different things, couldn't it, really? But what is the most common use of pardon?
Sorry. Watford. Watford. Is it?
It's Watford. Pardon Stream. Watford. Yes. Correct. Are you happy? You getting into it now, yeah?
What? Ford.
There you go. Okay. Watford. Number 3, Harbour Oral.
Portsmouth.
Correct. Portsmouth. Well done. 3 out of 3.
I know.
When this started, did you think you'd be sitting on 3 out of 3?
No.
No. Number 4, Dark Scald.
Blackburn.
Blackburn, yes.
High five me. Come on.
So we're on
How many have you got?
5.
Oh, boo. I thought one more.
We might have something similar coming next week.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's 4 out of 4. Yeah? Last one. Destroy pork. What?
Wrexham.
It is Wrexham, yes. Wrexham.
Destroy pork.
Destroys pork.
I was thinking that.
Is Wrexham.
I was thinking destroy. I knew it was ham something. Oh, I'm quite chuffed with that.
Well done. No, well done on that, because I didn't know they very much could have gone one or two ways then. You could have been sitting here going, I don't know any of these. And I did. But or it would have gone the other way, where you just got in a bit of a rhythm with them and went, yeah, I've got it. Yeah. So well done. 5 out of 5. First time for quite a while, that is.
I think the last time I did well is I got 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
For what that was to do with nicknames, wasn't it?
Yeah. So the thing we might do next week
is start learning what I'm good at, and
is opposites. So like Man United, it might be, or say Man City, it might end up being Female Town.
Okay.
So it's like the opposite of, maybe we'll do opposites next week.
Okay.
Okay. All right then. Okay. Look, sorry for my downbeatness this week, but I'm going
to go and slap him around a room now.
Yeah. It just felt like a turning point. It definitely felt like a fork in the road.
Not a positive turning point, though.
No, it definitely felt like a fork in the road, I think, this week, and it gave us a heavy dose of
realism.
Yeah, we are where we are. This is what we've got to look forward to.
Yeah.
It might get better. It might not. What does it mean if it doesn't? What have we got coming down the road if it doesn't get any better? It brought. I think Saturday threw up so many questions that and a lot of them you don't want to know the answer to.
No.
At the moment, because if it doesn't get any better, what's going to happen? And that isn't something I want the answer to at the moment, because I think there are lots of things that Wrexham fans don't want to see happening could potentially happen if it doesn't get any better.
But we have to think we're going to do a Wrexham and we're going to turn this around.
I would like to think so, because I have seen periods of games and I've seen, I keep saying I've seen enough that I know we're going to be okay. But then it disappears for large periods. And yeah, I know it's the Championship, and I know you're going to go through these spells of, looking like it's going to click and then it doesn't. But I would rather it clicked.
And stayed that way.
Of course I would. But no, I would rather it clicked. It worked for 3 or 4 games really well, and then we went on a bit of a bad run. Because I think at that point, when we're in that bad run, at least my head knows
we can do it.
We can do it because we've seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas at the moment, I'm not sure I've seen that we can do it.
Yeah.
And take Norwich out of it. Because as we now know, Norwich are having a worse season than we are. So that big result isn't quite as big a result as it felt at the time.
Yeah.
So I would prefer to see it completely click and then maybe go away for a little bit and then go, it's okay. Because I know it can work.
We'll be okay.
But I'm not sure at the moment. I feel like it can work and I've seen it work consistently.
So, end. So if you would like to do it, we'll be doing We'll be doing our pre-game and post-game review, preview, whatever you want to call it, on Wednesday. Join us from...
on Wednesday, we are looking at about between 6:15 and 6:30. I think that's fair to say, is it?
You're working till 6.
Oh, I'm working till 6. About 6:45.
So join us then, and we'll have the lineup should be out by then. So we'll do a quick review of that.
Bit of a mental episode next week for you because the lads are going up north to Middlesbrough, and at the same time we're going down south to London. So we're spending a few days down in London, where we're
some family time.
Yeah, and we're going to have to record next week's episode in London, which we're not 100% sure how that's going to work at the moment.
No.
So there will be an episode next Monday. What it will look like,
it might be a bit haphazard.
Maybe a touch. But yeah, tune in then. But like Siân said, 6:45 Wednesday. Join us for our live, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.